Alright, this is an update here. Our little Suzuki Outboard's been idling. They said about 5 minutes. We let it run a good 7 or 8 minutes to warm up. And it's time to throw the little joy lever. I'm going to move from here into forward. Here's your forward and reverse indicator. This is the fuel indicator here. Don't let that fool you. On is to the back, off is the front. Lever here is for this indicator here, neutral or forward. The only reverse is if you turn the motor around, kick it in reverse, and it'll go. And it's got a little block down here. I don't know if you can see this little block with the two little silver screws. When you turn that around, that slides underneath a lock thing, so if you turn the motor around and kick it in reverse, the transom don't fly up and blast out of the water. It can't, because it's locked under that with that little half circle thing. Goes to the other side and underneath there, so when you kick it in forward, when it's turned around, it can't lift until you turn it forward. Then you can tilt it up, like if you want to go into a shallow area or put it on your trailer. But it's time to throw the magic lever, and let's see what happens. Well, looky there. You know what? Hey, Sheila, we ought to get us a little Tide and some clothes and throw in here. We could do some good washing. Like the Beverly Hillbillies. This thing is just idling. And it's just barely, it's in idle. I know that would just move you across the lake sweet. About perfect for dragging some floating Rapalas, big 6-inchers and or 10-inch bright orange with specks on them, and have them run down about 4, 5, 6 feet behind you. We're going to do that later this week, and we're going to slay the northern pike. Then I'm going to do a video on how to clean some of them rascals up here, and you're going to love it. Got to let her idle like this for 15 minutes, so I'm not going to bore you with watching it go, but isn't that sweet? And you're hearing the actual sound of this little motor, this little 4-stroke. I was really worried. Actually, let me back up. I was going to buy like a little 5-horse or an 8-horse or something, like an old Johnson, and they got twin cylinders. And I was worried about this being a single cylinder, but because it's a little 4-stroke, it don't do that. It don't put out any smoke because you're not mixing the gas and oil. The oil is in the crankcase, obviously, because it's a 4-stroke, so it doesn't hardly put out any emissions. And in fact, it even says right on the back of there, ultra low emission. And I can believe it, because it don't hardly do nothing. It just sits there, and I can't wait to get it strapped on that Lund boat right there, plunk it in the lake, and kick it in gear, and go idling across the lake. I'll do an update when I'm out on the lake on it, but that's that little 2.5 Suzuki 4-stroke. Says not to rev it up at all, so we're not going to do that. We're going to just let her run in that tank. I'm almost threatened to go in the house, have a cup of coffee, come back out and check it, but I'm afraid to leave it in case something happens. So I'm going to hang around and watch this, and maybe I'll send Sheila for a Diet Coke. But this is the update on our in-gear 2.5 Suzuki 4-stroke motor. I love this stuff. It drives me crazy. I absolutely love it. And that little prop down in there, let me shut her off for a second. Let's see if we can't catch the prop kicking in gear. Are you ready for this? There she goes. Sweet, just sweet. Man, oh man. Then obviously you put it in neutral, turn the motor around, that thing locks underneath, kick it in forward, which is now backwards. You back out of the dock, pop it in neutral, turn it back around, pop it in forward, and crank the throttle and go across the lake. So we'll give you an update on full power here in about 7 to 8 to 10 hours. It's about 10-hour break-in on them. They don't want you to go full throttle over so many RPM for the first couple hours and so on and so forth. So there we are in gear, broski. I say we throw some clothes in there and some Tide and wash some stuff.
Why not?
There we go. All right, I'm going to go in the house and have a coffee with my brother Larry. And this is Steve Hall, still up in Brainerd, Minnesota with my brother. And man, now we're going fishing. Bye-bye.